Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are having a great day today. So we're going to be checking out the new Patrick Ta Major Skin Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. So I picked up the shade Tan 2. So this is what the shades of the the cream foundation and the powder look like. You probably can't make out the powder too well because it is supposed to be kind of translucent, but this is the shade that I picked up. So this is a cream formula foundation that's supposed to give a natural finish with medium coverage, and it's says it's best for oily, combo, and normal skin. So we all know when it comes to cream foundations on oily skin, sometimes they don't work out all that well, but we're going to give this a try. So let's jump right in and try it out. And then we're going to be doing a wear test. I'll let y'all know what I think about it at the end of the video. So let's jump right in. So if you have either one of the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palettes, the packaging for this is pretty much the same. There's like a protective case on top of the cream foundation, and this is what the foundation looks like, and then the powder is right on top. I do love the fact that you have your foundation and setting powder like all in one. I really like that. So I'm going to be applying this with my Morphe E63 brush for today, and I'm going to start off with just a little bit. It is supposed to be a medium coverage foundation, but I don't want to miss and go in with too much at once. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a good shade. Oh, I actually think this is going to be a great shade. So I did the Sephora shade finder, and I tried like 4 different foundations, and I kept getting different results. So I decided to go with Tan 2 based on the model that they had on the website. But this looks like a perfect shade. So in case you're new here, I do have a cool pink undertone, but if I can't find that in my complexion range, then I usually go with a golden undertone, which is what this one has. So right off the bat, I do really like this. I like the way that it's blending out. I like the coverage that I'm getting. I think I'm getting a nice medium coverage. Maybe even like sort of like a full coverage. Like I feel like that pretty much covered up everything that I have on my cheeks. So I really like that. It does give like a really nice natural finish. So let me quickly put some on the other side, and then we'll see if we can build it up at all. I'm just putting a little bit on the center of my face and on the chin, just making sure everything is nice and covered. Okay, so this is what one layer of the foundation looks like, and I really like that. I do feel like I could use a little bit more over here. I think I have just not quite as much product over here as I do on the other side. Okay, so this is what one layer looks like. It really looks nice. Let me look at these claims one more time so I can see if they match up to what I'm thinking. So it is supposed to give a natural finish, and it's definitely doing that. And medium coverage, I mean, I feel like it's a high medium coverage, but of course we're going to go back and see if it builds up at all. So far it is giving me just a little hint of like a glow, like a natural glow, but you know, nothing too crazy. Like I can see a little bit of my glow like in the high points of the face, but that's to be expected because it's definitely not a matte finish. Let me go over it one more time and see if we can build it up at all. So I'm just going to put a little bit more right here. This is where I always have like the most blemishes on my face, and I do feel like it is giving me just a little bit more coverage. It's like a slightly buildable formula. It doesn't say, like, it doesn't claim to be buildable. It just says a medium finish, but I feel like I got really good coverage with that first layer. I'm just putting a little bit more on over here just so we can even everything out. Okay, first impression, I do really love it. I love the shade that I picked too. This is a really nice shade. I'm going to quickly put my concealer on, and then I'll come back and show y'all how I'm going to set the foundation with the finishing powder. Okay, so let's get into the setting powder. So this is a satin finish, and it's supposed to help blur imperfections and give you just like that really smooth, like flawless look. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit on this brush here, tap off some excess, and I'm just going to start by pressing that in. I'm going like right under where I have my concealer, and let's see. So before I go any further, let's compare this area here to this area right here, and I do think it looks blurred. Yeah, it definitely like blurred like right on the sides of my nose, and it does look flawless. So That looks really pretty. So let me keep going with the rest of the face. I want to make sure that this foundation is nice and set because it's cream and I have oily skin, but I also don't want to put on like too much powder and like cake it up. But this type of powder, it feels like you can kind of like layer it on and it's not going to cake up because it's like a really smooth consistency. It looks really nice, and I would say it is definitely translucent because you see the shade of the powder. It didn't really change the color of the foundation at all. So I really like this so far. I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup and then we'll get into our wear test. So here is my look for today. So my first impression on this new Patrick Ta cream foundation and powder duo. I love it so far. I love the way that the foundation blended out, and I love the shade that I got, and I love this powder too. It is really nice and airy. It's a light like satin finish, and it really does blur your pores and give you like that flawless look. So we know that the true test is going to come in the wear test because this is a cream foundation and I have oily skin. So let's get started with the wear test. We're going to shoot for 8 hours. So it's exactly 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I will see y'all a little bit later on, and then at the end I will let y'all know if I think y'all should try it out for yourselves. I'll see y'all later on. Okay, it's only been about 3.5 hours, but I'm checking in now because I think my face is a little bit shiny, so it's wearing as expected for oily skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and refresh at this point. So I'm just blotting off my excess oil and I'm just sticking with the T-zone area for this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reset it with a different powder just to see if it wears any better for the rest of the wear test. So I'm gonna try the Fenty Beauty Invisimatte powder because this is really good at mattifying and keeping your face matte during the day. This is what it looks like just in case you're not familiar. So I'm just picking up a little bit of the powder and I'm just gonna concentrate this right on the areas where I just blotted off the excess oil, and I'm just curious to see if it's going to wear any different for the rest of the day. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I refresh halfway through. So I'll be back in about 4 or 5 hours and we will wrap things up. Okay, so we're at the end of the wear test. It's a little after 9 o'clock, so we're basically at the 8-hour mark, and this is what my skin is looking like. So remember, at about 3.5 hours in, my face was looking really shiny, so I did go in and I touched it up. So for about the last 5 hours, I've been wearing it with the Fenty powder as opposed to the powder that comes in the compact. So I do think that my skin looks a little less shiny with this Fenty powder compared to the one in the compact. I am still shiny, but to me, I think this Fenty powder made the foundation wear just a little bit better. So I did forget to mention at the beginning that when I test out foundations, I don't test them out with primers for the first time. I like to try them out independently without any assistance from any other type of product. So keep that in mind. If you like wearing like a mattifying or maybe like a gripping primer, you might get a little bit more wear out of this foundation if you have oily skin. But I think in general, for those of us with oily skin, this is going to be one of those foundations where you'll have to touch it up like every few hours. I have a feeling like even with a primer, because it's a cream foundation, it's just not going to wear quite as long as other types of foundations on oily skin. So I do think if you have normal skin, maybe even dry skin, you might do a little bit better with this. But even with oily skin, I mean, I really like the way that the foundation looks on the skin. I think it's worth trying out, but it's not going to be like one of my go-tos. And I know this one is a little up there in price. It's $52, but I do like the way that it looks. I mean, it looked really flawless on application, but it doesn't last as long as some other foundations. But like I said, that was to be expected because of my skin type. So those are my final thoughts on this new Patrick Ta foundation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found the video helpful. If you did, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.